Your problems are our problems. Fox 23 News uncovers rip-offs, tracks down dangerous drivers, and digs for answers. We don't just talk about problems, we get results. Fox 23 News takes on another problem right now.
Tonight, a solving problems investigation that is as big as a house, literally. A Tulsa family called Fox 23 News back in December to report a problem with a local house mover. Well, the family says the house mover just botched the job. Well, after weeks of digging, we found out this is not the first time this house mover was taking someone for a ride. Here's Clay with this solving problems investigation. Clay?
Sure. Now, this is the house in question. Steve and Cindy Sund bought it from Claude Stamper House Movers on November 5th. The deal to move the house from Broken Arrow to the Sun's land in Inola. Cindy signed this contract. She agreed that the roof would be cut down so the house could go under phone and electrical wires, and that a side room would be removed. Cindy also agreed that she and her husband would be responsible for putting the roof back on once the house was moved. She gave Claude Stamper $10,000 down. But weeks after the home's roof was cut down, the house sat and sat, waiting and disintegrating. That's when Cindy Sund called Fox 23 for help.
Two $5,000 money orders, and it's still here.
Steve and Cindy Sund have watched and waited for more than 2 months.
And it was in perfect shape. I mean, perfect shape. And now you look at it, it's just destroyed.
The contract Cindy signed says the house will be moved in a, quote, proper and workmanlike manner.
He said he would transport it to the property and it would look identical to what it looked like when we first looked at the home.
But the Suns say they never agreed to this.
Punched holes in the walls, raining and
all inside,
and snow inside. Just real disheartening.
Inside, the ceiling is caving in. The carpet, it's drenched, and debris covers the floor.
The ductwork, the electrical even, it's all destroyed.
It's beyond repair right now in my eyes.
Their calls to Claude Stamper either went unanswered or
we'd call and he'd say it'd be moved Friday. Well, Friday came around, he'd say the house had to be moved out Monday, and this went on for a month.
The Suns are sick of the waiting game and out of a lot of money.
I've got 4 kids. I worked quite a bit of hours. I was trying to get them out of Tulsa Public Schools into Inola, a smaller school, and without that $10,000 now, I can't move out there. You can buy a trailer and move out there, but I was wanting a house.
After seeing Steve and Cindy's big problem, we decided to look for some answers. We found out Mr. Claude Stamper has quite a history. We uncovered pages and pages of court records showing lawsuit after lawsuit. Stamper and his house moving company have been sued at least a dozen times in Tulsa County alone. Just ask Chuck Hurt, who bought a building from Stamper in 1998. And Stamper never delivered.
June came around and no Mr. Stamper. We couldn't get him on the phone, couldn't find him anywhere.
Hurt hired a lawyer.
He told us we'd probably have to go to the last batter in the last inning to collect anything from him because he'd been sued so many times. He knew the game.
Hurt finally got his $8,000 back.
I'm sorry somebody else is going through the same thing because I know the runaround they're getting. We went through it every day for 4 years almost trying to contact him and get our money back.
We put Steve and Cindy in touch with Hurt's lawyer. In the meantime, Cindy called Tulsa police. A fraud detective sent a letter like this one to Stamper. It went out on January 21st. Then, 6 days later, look at this. We discovered Stamper's crew in action. The problem, it's 12 weeks after the contract was signed. And that's only half of this super-sized situation. Steve and Cindy Sund are in for a lot more trouble with their house. After the break, you'll hear what the house mover himself has to say about this house-sized mess.
Claude Stamper? How you doing?
And you don't want to miss this, as the house almost crushes one of Claude Stamper's workers.
About got killed.
Next on Fox 23 News at 9, we continue our story with part 2 of this Solving Problems investigation.
It's not fun. It's painful for everybody involved.
On this Valentine's Day, broken hearts and broken vows. why the state's divorce rate is so high and what's being done to keep couples together. Oklahoma's National Guard members are closer to finding relief, what the governor did today to help our men and women serving in the Guard.
Your problems are our problems. Fox 23 News uncovers rip-offs, tracks down dangerous drivers, and digs for answers. We don't just talk about problems, we get results. Fox 23 News takes on another problem right now.
Tonight, a Solving Problems investigation. Now, before the break, we introduced you to Steve and Cindy Sund, who put $10,000 down on a house and hired Claude Stamper, house movers, to move it to their land in Inola. The house sat for more than 2 months after the roof was removed. After police sent a letter to Claude Stamper, we found some work being done. That's where we left the story about 5 minutes ago. Now, let's hear what Mr. Stamper had to say in part 2 of this Solving Problems investigation.
It's just real disheartening.
12 weeks after Steve and Cindy Sund signed the contract to get this house moved, we discover his crew at the place.
Claude Stamper?
Then Claude Stamper showed up. We confronted him with the problem.
We've had trouble getting permits with the city. We got them yesterday. Everything's fine. Cable company, electric company, and all of them's with us, so we're ready to roll.
We called the city of Broken Arrow and Valor Telecom. Valor officials told us house movers must agree to pay a fee to get the telephone lines lifted.
The telephone company wanted $3,800 for them to raise the lines.
We also asked him about the home's condition.
What about all the damage inside?
Well, it's just something that happened, so we'll take care of it.
You will take care of that?
Right.
For the family?
Yeah.
You call this workmanlike manner?
Yeah. That's just something that happened. It wasn't even, it was plaster, and when the plaster turned the sheetrock loose, it fell down. So it's just one thing you don't know or you don't see yourself. So we will take care of it.
You can guarantee that it's going to get on their foundation and everything, all right?
Sure. We didn't stop there. We went to Inola to wait for the house. This time, Stamper took Cindy's call.
The house, and how come you didn't call me and let me know it was being moved?
Stamper tells Cindy what he told us on camera.
Hi, did you see the inside of the house? And you'll take care of everything inside it then?
We worked with a lawyer to draw up this agreement, which says Stamper will fix the damage. Part 2 of this nightmare has just begun. The movers show up more than 4 hours later, but no Stamper. His crew cut everything in their path to make room for the house.
Oh, my goodness.
Then the house gets stuck, and Stamper's own employee acknowledges there's serious damage.
I'm not going to have anything else destroyed. My house is already destroyed enough.
Yeah, it's damaged real bad.
And it gets worse. Watch as the crew tries to get the house out of the mud, and it nearly falls on a worker. That's when Cindy puts another call in to Claude Stamper.
The house that you're moving out here is stuck in my yard. It's sliding off the beams.
That ain't sliding off.
Well, almost one of your guys just almost got smushed underneath there.
It ain't sliding off.
Well, you know what? Yes, it is sliding off.
No, it isn't.
Okay, you need to come out here, Claude. Okay, I'm telling you right now, it needs to be moved to the footings. They pulled on the other side of the land. They've got stuck in here many times, and now they're just going to leave it here.
Stamper never showed to check out the problem or to sign our agreement.
We can't keep affording to take off work every day to come back out here and make sure you guys put it in the right place.
The next day, Stamper's crew managed to get the house out of the mud. And here it sits now, waiting repairs. Yes, the house was moved, but that's really little consolation to Steve and Cindy,
I feel like we've been taken advantage of severely.
who now have to put thousands more dollars into fixing this oversized problem that just keeps getting bigger. Here is even more information. Tulsa police will not file charges against Claude Stamper because he did eventually move the house. We also put in a call to Claude Stamper today. He says Steve and Cindy Sund still owe him the rest of what they agreed to pay. That's more than $6,000. He said he wants that money. He also said his crew would clean out the debris in the house and will fix the sheetrock once a foundation is laid. Steve and Cindy are responsible for the foundation. Stamper told us he thinks the phone company's fee was unfair, and that's part of the reason he says the house sat for so long. Stamper told us his crew is working on 10 to 15 houses right now. As for solving Steve and Cindy's problem, we called Legal Aid, which is now working to find them an attorney at a discounted cost. Plus, We called a contractor who met us at the house today for a free estimate. He says the damage is substantial and more than $10,000 worth. Fox 23 News would like to know about problems you want us to investigate. Give us a call, 388-3714. Fox 23 producers, you see them, they're standing by to take your calls. The phone lines are open until 10 o'clock tonight. Or you could always log on to fox23.com, click on Solving Problems. There you'll find a special email form to tell us about a problem you'd like Fox 23 to help solve.
And now to another problem Fox 23 News has been following very closely. On Monday, you may remember we first introduced you to a Tulsa couple who was left with a house-sized mess. They blame a local house mover, but once our story aired, others contacted Fox 23 to give their help as well. And here's Clay with a Solving Problems follow-up.
Sheriff Steve and Cindy Sund called Fox 23 News. They were appalled by the damage done to their house. That's when we stepped in. The couple paid Claude Stamper house movers $10,000 down to move the house from Broken Arrow to Inola. They signed a contract in November, but the house sat without a roof until January 27th. That's when Claude Stamper and his crew were back on the scene to do their job. But the damage was already done. A couple of local contractors saw our story. They called Fox 23 and offered to help solve this couple's immense problem.
I was ready to call it a total loss on this place.
All of this damage has caused Steve and Cindy Sund serious heartache.
Now, we were planning on spending Christmas here in the house, and it just didn't happen.
Contractor Kevin Dolison took notice.
There's no excuse for this. I feel sorry for you, Dad.
He's offering to repair the roof, the sheetrock, and the inside.
If we can get somebody to provide the materials to do so, we'll provide all the labor and paint it, the whole 9 yards, get everything hooked up for them.
A Tulsa family called Fox 23 News back in December to report a problem with a local house mover.
I just seen the story on the show, and I just thought, it'd be nice if some people, try to pull together and try to help these folks get in their house.
And Kevin's not the only one.
I'll give you a discount right off the top.
Stonemason Chuck Hurt, who sued Claude Stamper when he never received a building, also came to the rescue.
After seeing the story, I thought y'all did a real good job, and I thought, well, maybe I can do something.
Before Kevin and his crew can do any work, a foundation must be laid.
Having a masonry crew and all, I'd come in here and offer them a discount on getting their foundation, getting something done right for them.
But it will be quite a job.
The mold that's in here, there's no easy, quick fix for this.
Mold coats the walls, and the carpet's still wet. Kevin's confident he can fix the place.
We'll put it back together for you. We'll do what we can. For sure.
Well, I appreciate all the help.
Oh, no problem. That's what neighbors are for, bud.
Steve is thankful and relieved.
You just don't realize the weight that it's lifted. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And ready to turn this broken house into a home.
I think there's a light at the end of this tunnel.
To get the house fixed up, K&S Construction and Hertz Stone Design will need donated materials. And we haven't forgotten to keep in touch with the house mover, Claude Stamper, through all of this, to see what he does to make it right. You may remember what he told us.
What about all the damage inside?
Well, it's just something that happened, so we'll take care of it.
You will take care of that for the family?
Yeah.
You call this workmanlike manner?
Yeah. That's just something that happened that wasn't even, it was plaster, and when the plaster turned the sheetrock loose, it fell down. So it's just one thing you don't know or you don't see, you say. So we will take care of it.
Now, the day after our story aired, Stamper's crew did clean out the debris in the house. And when we talked to Claude Stamper today, he said he had a drywall crew take a look at the house and that he is willing to take some money off once the Suns get a foundation laid. And here's some more information we dug up in our investigation. The State's Corporation Commission tells us all house movers need insurance to move houses on roads safely. A spokesman says when Claude Stamper moved that house last month, his insurance had lapsed. When we brought it to Stamper's attention, he told us he did have insurance, and he went to the Corporation Commission right away and updated his record.
To get Fox 23 News on the case, go to fox23.com and click on the Solving Problems tab, or call the Solving Problems helpline at 388-5256.